is up, everybody? It is me, Video Person 102, and today we are going to be reading some more Wattpad stories because I haven't done that in 3 weeks. Because I like doing videos of me using fake southern accents, playing pie face, and reacting to YouTube Rewind. Watch Mojo Edition. Haha. Okay, so let's get into it. Water, drowning, pain, darkness. It was cold. It surrounded me. I'm terrified, thrashing around, screaming, crying, trying to figure. Red and white. Roman. Virgil, he said, his voice echoing. Blood started blossoming against white. Roman, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Virgil. Virgil. I stood up, bolt upright in my chair. Tears were streaming down my face. It was a dream, but it's so real. Virg? I looked up to see Roman. He was awake and was staring at me in concern. Virgil, are you okay? He asked. I threw my arms around him and nodded. I'm so sorry, Ro. I mumbled into his shoulder. No, Virgil. I should have been the one who's sorry, Roman said, pushing me away slightly to look me in the face. I wasn't quick enough to save you. You nearly died. But so did you, I interrupted, looking him into the eye. Roman, what happened after I went under? He seemed to freeze for a second. He glanced at his sheets before looking at me again. He sighed. After you went under, I froze. I failed to get you in time, and I froze. The dragon witch caught me and pinned me to the ground and clawed me. But then I had a chance to slay it, and I did, and then I pulled you out, and then I guess you know the rest. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded. Princey reached up to wipe the tears drying on my cheeks. So you killed it? I asked, choking on my words. It's gone? He nodded. Yeah, Virg, it's gone. I sighed in relief, letting my head hit the bed. Hey, Prince not so charming. I heard Princey humming an acknowledgement. Don't ever scare me like that again. Princey chuckled. We sat in silence for a while, just listening to each other breathing. It was comfortable. We didn't have to talk or move around. Only stay there in the moment. Just stay and be happy we were alive. It was about to drift off when someone came in. I lifted my head a couple inches to see Patton carrying a tray. His face broke into a huge smile when he saw Princey had woken up. Hey, kiddos. How are you feeling? Patton asked quietly, setting down the tray. He had 2 cups, a pitcher of water, and some pain medication. I'm okay, Patton, Princey said. A little thirsty and sore, but happy to be alive. And that Virgil is okay. He gave me a small smile, which I returned. That's good, Patton said. Oh, and Virg, Logan wants to make sure you're okay. He's in his room. I nodded. Okay, thanks, Pat. I got up and walked out, leaving Patton to overprotectively dote over Princey. I closed the door behind me and headed over to Logan's room. It was halfway there when I heard someone call my name. Seconds later, I was tackled to the ground by 3 bodies. Virgil, are you and Roman okay? What happened? Is the dragon witch gone? Whoa, slow down, one at a time, I told the kids. Are you okay? Pranks asked. Yesterday we heard Patton yell at Logan, then run off. We were gonna help him, but he stopped us and told us his stories. He tells really funny ones, Imogen interrupts. Yeah. But then we asked Patton and Logan what happened, and they wouldn't tell us and said to leave you and Roman alone for a bit. Pranks finished. Oh well, I sat up, sitting up. I looked around at their faces. I lowered my voice a bit for dramatic effect. There was a huge dragon witch in the imagination, 100 feet tall, and Princey and I fought it. The kids looked up at me in wonder as I told them the epic tale of defeating the dragon witch, skipping over some details, of course. I told them how Princey quickly found how to kill it and saved me from its treacherous claws before finally slaying it. It was almost as dramatic as Princey himself. We were so tired when we got back, we didn't want to be disturbed, so Logan and Penn let us rest. I said at the end of the story. Wow, Prank said. You and Roman are awful, Missy started. Amazing, you brave people. I start laugh along with them, but it was soon turns to pain coughing. The kids look at me and concerned. You okay, V? MG asked. Yeah, I'm just gonna go see Logan, I said. I stood up and silently continued walking to Logan's room. My chest ached from the strain of working my legs too hard. I held my blanket closer to me as I knocked on Logan's door. It was dark bluish indigo, completely uniform in color. Very much like Logan himself. No sooner than I thought that the tray opened the door. Ah, Virgil, please, come in, Logan said. The inside of his room was the same shade of blue as the door, save for one wall that was white. There was a dark stained desk that held a stack of papers and a computer. On the opposite wall there was a huge bookcase that took up the entire space. His bed was covered with black sheets and white pillows. On the ceiling there was an accurate moving map of the solar system. The entire room was lit up by lights placed in corners. It was not what I expected from Logan. So why did you need to see me? I asked as he closed the door. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, he answered, to make sure you didn't permanently damage your respiratory system. Okay, I said. Shoot. The smart tray blinked. But I do not have a gun. I rolled my eyes. It's an expression. It means ask your questions. Oh, I see, Logan said, spraying his glasses. Shall we begin then? I sighed. No point in saying no. Day 3, Roman's POV. After Penn forced me to take some pain medication and had gotten me a shirt, there was a familiar knock at the door. It was a secret knock between me and the kids. Should I go see who's at the door? Penn asked. Oh, it's to the kids. We have a secret knock, I explained. But yes, by all means, let them in. Penn smiled brightly and bounced over to the door. Pranks, Missy, and MG all ran over to the side of the bed. The youngest actually jumped up and hugged me. Virgil told us all about how you defeated the Dragon Witch, MG said. You're so brave, Roro. You aren't scared of anything. Well, actually, I was really scared. I whispered like I was telling them a secret. They gasped, eyes wide. No way, Prank said. What were you so scared of? I chuckled. I was scared of lots of things. Virgil being hurt, the Dragon Witch escaping, having the beast try to take over the Mind Palace. Whoa, Missy said. But Thee said you were really brave. He didn't say you were scared. Well, I was brave, I told them. But being brave doesn't mean not having fears. It means overcoming your fears and saving the day. I started tickling Imogen, who was still on the bed and had shrieked in laughter. Then the other kids started laughing. Then I joined. Then Patton, too, until we were a huge mess of giggles and smiles. Logan opened the door with Virgil close behind him. The logical trait gave a small smirk. Am I interrupting something? Oh, no, not at all, I smiled. He hummed. Good. Is it all right if I checked up on you? Of course, I responded. I turned to the kids. I think you're going to have to leave now. They whined in disappointment. I set Imogen on the ground next to the other kids, much to his displeasure. I don't want to leave, the youngest said stubbornly. Yeah, me neither, Missy piped up. Just gonna do that. Okay. Hey, Gremlins and Squirt, why don't we go play Mario Kart? Virgil spoke up from the back of the room. Nah, I don't want to today, Prank said. Why? The anxious trait challenged. Scared I'll beat you? Pranks and Missy whirled around. No way. You're on. They raced out of the room together. It always seems like the two were inseparable, attached at the hip, some would say. Virgil was about to leave, but noticed MG still by my bed. You coming, Squirt? He asked. The little one shook his head. I want to stay. He gave a quick glance to Logan. If it's okay. I see no problem with it, Logan said. Roman? I smile. It's fine with me, little prince. His face breaks into a smile so bright it could reveal patterns. Thank you, Roro. Time skip. Okay, I think that's all, Logan said. Finally, after it felt like hours. Just to be sure to not exert yourself too much for the next couple of days, all right? Yes, Mother, I responded, ingling a giggle from the child in Patton's lap. So far, Logan checked my wounds, gave me a strict bed rest, and lectured me on how dangerous it was to charge off like that. I could have been killed and blah, 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 blah. He's given me this speech every time I come home from slaying a dragon witch, but this time he says something unexpected. Roman, I was scared. What? My eyes widened. Logan, Mr. Emotions are the bane of my existence, was scared? I'm scared every time you come home covered in blood and bruises, he nearly yells. And this time Virgil got hurt too? What happens when you find something and you can't kill it by yourself? What then, Rowan? What then? You can't protect everyone if you're dead. What would Thomas do? He needs you. You don't just represent creativity. You represent confidence, spirit, his love in Disney and theater. You are part of Thomas. We couldn't live without. Logan paused and then hung his head. You got lucky yesterday, Rowan. So very, very lucky. A heavy silence fell over the room. I didn't know what to say. How could I respond to that? How? Lola? The logical trait quickly wiped his eyes. Yes, Patton? Patton took Logan's hand in his own. I think it would be best to let Roman get some rest. That rhymed. Logan nodded and let the fatherly trait guide him and MG to the door. Logan, I called. He stopped in the doorway. I'm sorry. His shoulders rose and took a breath. I accept your apology, he paused again. And yes, I suppose I am the mother of the group. He was ready to scream. Okay, I'm alive now. Logan turned and gave me a small smile, then turned off the light and closed the door, leaving me in a semi-darkness. I smiled in the direction he had left. As much as me and the nerd argue, we do care for each other. We all do. Even Virgil. Speaking of Tomorrow Always Dies, Logan said he had gotten hurt. Was he just talking about the drowning, or was it something different? I winced at the thought. No, Virgil would be alright. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have just gone to play video games with the kids. Right? Right? But what if he wasn't? What if he damaged his lungs or got hurt in some other way? What if... No. Virgil's fine. I can almost hear him. Hey, Princey. Worrying is my job. That idiot. I gave a small smile. It's almost like he thinks he's the only one able to feel negative emotions. I wonder if he's happy with us now. I hardly ever see his generous smile. I've only heard his laugh once. It was like silver bells ringing at Christmas. And how his eyes light up. Wait. Am I in love with Virgil? No. No way. No. Making my way downtown, walking fast. I am a seagull. Surprise, surprise. And then another chapter. Day 3, Logan's POV. Oh, here we go. Got some Logan's POV up in here. Hold on, just give me a second. Ugh, I'm dying. I sighed, a small smirk resting on my lips. The mom character. What a preposterous idea. But then again, I believed emotions were preposterous and I was proven wrong. The fear I felt for Robin and Virgil, the excitement I feel for Crofter's organic jam, and of course the strange fluttering feeling in my abandonment whenever I look at Patton. Love. So, Panic started breaking me out of my thoughts. How's Virgil? Virgil has sustained no permanent damage. However, I sighed. For a while, it may be difficult for him to breathe properly if he puts too much strain on his lungs. Oh, Pan said, staring at the ground. A loud yelled echo from the commons area, followed soon by giggling. Oh, come on, I had that! I gave a confused glance at Patton, who shrugged and grabbed my hand. I started to pull me towards the commons, where I saw a rather amusing scene. A calm, collected Virgil thanks to a fuming Prinks, while Missy could barely hold his controller with how much he was giggling. MG leaned on the back of the great couch, watching the chaos that was Mario Kart. Prinks was playing as Wario, Virgil as Shy Guy, and Missy as Waluigi. The rest of us were having preferences too. I like Lakutu, Patton as Toad, Roman as Pink Gold Peach, and MG as the Koopaling Lemmy. Even Deceit plays as Bowser, of course. I would have won if I hadn't gotten that blue shell, Prinks yelled. Prinks, calm down, Missy laughed. No, he yelled again. At least he lowered his voice a bit this time. He stood up and pointed at Virgil. I challenge you to another race, and I'm gonna win. Virgil just shrugged. Whatever you say, Gremlin 1. Prank sat down, scolding. He picked up his controller and started a new race. This time, MG was racing as well. Beside me, Patton gave a small chuckle. Halo, Patton whispered. Want to help me make lunch? It's pronounced want to and yes. I said, I would love to make lunch with you. He said the word love out loud. Patton smiled and grabbed my hand again. The fluttering feeling returned as he pulled me into the kitchen. The fatherly tray gathered materials and ingredients to make homemade macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese. Can you make the salad, Lo? Patton asked, stirring the pasta. Oh, of course. I started to pull all the ingredients to a Caesar salad into a large bowl. It was almost done when I heard humming. No, correction. I heard a voice softly singing. I am a lost boy, Neverland. You was hanging out with Peter Pan and one more boy we playing in the woods. I was on the run from Captain Hook. I knew the song. Roman made me listen to it, but he never told me the name. I had a somber sound to it, however. It almost sounded hopeful. I turned around to see Patton smiling softly singing the beautiful lyrics. Patton glanced up and saw me staring. He abruptly stopped singing. A red blush covered his cheeks. Patton's POV. You sing beautifully, Logan stammered. I blushed deeper if it was possible. Thanks. I didn't usually sing in front of people often. Why not? He asked, taking a step closer. Well, Pat, you know you could tell me, right? Logan said. Our faces inches apart. I nodded. Yeah, I know, Lo. Then why? I'm just a bit shy about some things, I whispered. Logan hummed and tilted my head up. My eyes met his like caramel and chocolate. Pat? May I? The timer beeped. We jumped apart, both of us completely red. I hurriedly put the pasta in the colander. Therefore, turning my back to Logan, I burst myself grating cheese into the pasta bowl. Subconsciously, I started humming again, swaying as I started melted the cheese. Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Wendy, darling, even Captain Hook, you are my perfect storybook. Neverland, I love you so, you are now my home, sweet home forever, a lost boy at last. I sang softly. Ever since that day, I am a lost boy from Neverland. Usually hanging out with Peter Pan. What boy we play in the woods? Always on the run from Captain Hook. I turned to see Logan finishing the salad and singing. He looked at me with a smirk. I couldn't help but smile wide. So, I and kinda... Yes, I finally won! I beat... Yeah. You okay, V? V! Verge! Dad! Low! I heard my heart suddenly stopped in fear. I saw Logan's eyes grow wide and a smile slip from his face as if in slow motion. We ran to the comments, hoping to any god that would listen that this was just be a joke. But we got there, and I knew it wasn't. Virgil was slumped over on the arm of the couch. A thick, blackish red substance dripped from his lips. Pranks was standing over him, trying to wake up his unconscious body. Missy was holding Imogen. Both of them had tears running down their face. V! Wake up! Pranks choked a sob. Logan rushed forward, gently pushing the oldest child away. He checked over the anxious trait, feeling his forehead as such. Suddenly he looked up. A look of horrified realization crossed his face. Pat, take the kids to their room. And check on Roman! Logan nearly screamed. I nodded and guided Missy and Imogen behind me. I reached out to grab Pranks' shoulder, but he pushed my hand away. No, I'm not leaving V! He yelled, his eye never leaving Virgil's unconscious form. Pranks, please! Imogen got to stay with Roman! What can I say with V? A fresh wave of tears flooded down his face. I glanced at Logan, who sighed and nodded. You could stay. Just be quiet, okay? Pranks nodded. I led the other two back to their room, assuring them that Virgil will be okay. They nodded, and I closed the door. Then I sprinted to Roman's room. I burst through the door and saw Roman lying in the bed. Blackish red seeped through the white bandages, and tears cascaded down his cheeks. I looked up at me with pain-filled eyes. Pat, I don't feel so good. No! Virgil, can you hear me? I groaned and tried to pry my eyes open. I managed to see dark blue on black. Logan? Then my stomach heaved. Pranks, get the bucket! A second later, a bucket was placed under me and my stomach expelled. Whatever the hell it was. Thick blackish red filled the bucket. It burned my throat like fire and my stomach felt like it was boiling. It went on for a while before it was over. Even the pain was gone. I spat onto the bucket, trying to get the ashy taste out of my mouth. My eyes closed from exhaustion. I felt myself being moved to a more comfortable position on the couch. Something cool was pressed into my forehead. Oh, I must have a fever. I cracked my eyes open again. Logan and Pranks were standing over me. Pranks had tears in his eyes, and Logan was fidgeting with his tie. I must have really scared him. Virgil, how are you feeling? Logan asked. I feel fine. I winced at the sound of my voice, just tired and a little cold. Logan looked extremely concerned. No unusual nausea or dizziness? I shook my head. Logan cursed under his breath. Why? What's happening? What's wrong with V? Pranks asked. Logan shook his head. Virgil, did Roman get any of the water in his injuries? My eyes widened. I nodded. Logan cursed again. Pranks looked between us worryingly. Lo? Pranks spoke up, his voice small. I think the water might have been cursed or poisoned, Logan said. But you can make like an antidote or something, right? I said, trying to sit up, making a cold cloth fall off. Logan gently pushed me back to the couch and sighed. If it is a poison, then yes. But if it's curse... What? Logan, what happens if it's a curse? I asked. Logan didn't respond. Logan! I'm not an expert in curses, he yelled. I don't know. I felt my anxiety skyrocket. My stomach churned uncomfortably at the thought of Logan not knowing something. I closed my eyes and gulped. This wasn't good. This wasn't good at all. Logan! Patton screamed from Roman's room. Virgil, stay here, Logan commanded, standing up. Pranks, make sure he doesn't move and come and get me if he gets worse. Pranks nodded and Logan ran off to Roman's room. Pranks placed the cloth back on my forehead. My stomach turned to burn again. Needless to say, the cloth didn't stay on my head. Pranks on my back as I reached into the bucket. The same blackish red stuff as last time, and just like last time, it burned like fires of hell escaping from my stomach. Do you need anything, V? Prince asked when I finished. Just some water, I whispered, my voice shaking. Prince nodded and walked into the kitchen. I closed my eyes again. Exhaustion overtook my body. I thought of Roman. Maybe it was the tiredness, or maybe I just really didn't want to believe it at first, but I loved Roman. And if this curse killed us... Wait, curse? Love? Then it hit me. Roman's POV. Trigger warning, death. Pat, I don't feel so good. Tears slid down my face as Patton ran to my side and scooped me into his arms. He ran his fingers through my hair and I cried into his shirt. My wounds felt like they were on fire, or like someone poured molten metal into them. You're all right, Patton comforted. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, I whispered. Patton gently shushed me, telling me I'd be all right. It hurt so much. It burned. The dad-like trait put his hand on my forehead. He frowned. You're burning up, he said. I feel like I'm burning, I sniffed. Patton looked at me confused. What do you mean? My wounds, they burn. I felt really dizzy. Okay, just want to call I said I felt really Disney for some reason. Ha ha ha. Which is Roman always, but still. Roman, hey, can you open your eyes? Patton said, panic in his voice. Wait, did I close my eyes? I forced them open, but my vision is fuzzy. Everything is too bright. Patton hugs me tighter and says something, but I feel like I'm underwater, and the water is boiling. My vision starts to darken. I feel like I'm floating on air. I can no longer smell Patton or the macaroni and cheese he made. My muscles react and I can feel my breathing stop. I hear Patton yelling. I thought of Virgil. Now that this is happening, now that I'm dying, I won't deny my feelings for him. I love Virgil. That was my last thought. I was dead. Then everything came back. I gasped for air, and I could hear Patton crying, and I could feel the floor beneath me. I could see Logan with tears running down his cheeks, and when Patton hugged me, I could smell the cookies he always bakes, and I was alive. Roman! Patton cried. Your heart stopped. Brown broke off with a sob. Logan put his hand on his soulmate's back, and noticed the burning feeling had subsided, and something aching had a bad sunburn. V, no, you can't get up! Suddenly, Virgil appeared in my doorway looking ready to collapse. He must have had teleported. Logan rushed forward and caught him before he fell. Virgil, what are you doing here? Logan scolded. You said this could be a curse, right? The anxious trait said, breathing heavily. Yes, but what does that... Virgil yelled. True love's kiss. Virgil, Logan started carefully. I know that you and Roman are soulmates, but do you two actually love each other? Virg, I said. He looked up with his eyes wide. Ro, what happened? I shook my head. Virg, I love you. I really do. You were my last thought before my heart stopped. Your heart? He looked up at Roman, who nodded. Who looked at Logan, who nodded. He looked back at me with tears in his eyes. Ro, oh my god, I'm sorry. Ro, He took a deep breath. I love you too, Ro. A tear escaped as Logan guided my love over. Patton stopped hugging me, but his arms were replaced by Virgil's. I looked into his eyes, the darkest, richest shade of brown. Slowly our faces got closer, and our lips brushed together. And ever so lovingly, our lips met. So that's what I'm going to be reading today. I hope you liked it. And, like always, do your best.